that it's not our intent to suppress the enthusiasm of the pregame festivities, but when fun generates into rowdyism and vandalism, this constitutes a violation of the law, and it will be dealt with accordingly.
Out. I feel like they could be bussed in.
Bringing about racism, do you feel the Dallas Independent School District is a racist school district?
Yes, I feel like it is because, number one, they show a lot of tokenism on the school board. Number one, they have one Mexican American Chicano that's on the school board, and have one black on the school board. I think it's as far as I know. And the thing of it is that I don't think that there's enough representation from the poverty-stricken area on the school boards to make the decisions. And I feel like that it is a racist school system, yes.
Well, it isn't the first one, as you know, and I think it will not be the last one. We do hope it is not the last one.
There's an obvious thaw between East and West Germany underway. How do you feel about it?
Well, this is not only a thought. You know, the federal government started new action in order to try to find out, is there a possible solution for Germany and Berlin? And I think we are on the way to find out if there is something we can solve. Nobody really knows, but there are some signs that the policy of the government under Willy Brandt will be successful. And this is a policy, not a German one, but this is a policy carried out by NATO. And of course, Germany has a part to play in the whole thing.
Can you foresee at all a reunified Germany?
Well, you know, politicians have to be very careful in answering such questions. I would think that everybody would like to have it. But to be quite frank, I don't see a change in the next days.
If we, the mothers that have children in our black school, should think of it on this base, that if we desegregate the schools and bring in children, say from the all-white neighborhood out in the far North Dallas area into our schools here, that would upgrade the school in the ghetto.
Do you want your children bused?
Well, I feel like this. I feel like if by them being in the ghetto and this is all they know, I feel like that too. It doesn't make any difference whether I agree on busing or not, but if it applies with the law.
As usual, additional officers will be assigned to the downtown area Friday night during the annual pregame activities prior to the Texas OU football game on Saturday. Officers will be courteous and helpful in every way possible, but we want it understood that we're going to strictly enforce all city ordinances and state law. Last year, on the eve of the Texas OU game, 351 persons were arrested. Most of those taken into custody had no connection with either university.
Corporate, general, and commercial aviation hasn't always gotten along too well in the past. Do you foresee this as the dawning of a new era of cooperation?
Well, first I take exception to the fact that we have not always gotten along well in the past. I think we have gotten along well in the past, but due to the different mission that they are now on, they are in airspace that was formerly occupied by the military and the airlines to the exclusion of the general aviation people. Now they have the jet airplanes in their fleets, and they share the common problem of flying in reduced airspace or restricted airspace.
We expect to about double our force between now and Christmas.
And what is
first of the year?
And what is your force?
Our force now, we have about 145 people in plant. That's in the manufacturing end, accounting, and executive end, and about 150 field men.
What kind of people are you looking for?
Well, this brings up something else that I've noticed in this economy. These people that have retrenched have let good people go. People that are, they're middle-aged or a little older, and $25,000, $30,000 a year people. Now, they're going to be lost people unless someone like ourselves come along and utilize their intelligence and their knowledge and their ability.
Well, actually, Jay, this will not have any real strong effect on our class schedule, primarily because our instructional program was not carried in any part of this building except for the journalism program. We have made arrangements to move these classes to other facilities for the time being, and we hope within 2 or 3 days to be able to restore them back to their original place of business.
The rumors have been flying out here that this could be a possible case of arson. We know you can't confirm or deny those rumors at this point, but can you tell us what led to the speculation?
Jay, I think probably that in any fire of this size that there's going to be a lot of speculation. We have no reason to speculate one way or the other, and we're still awaiting a report from the fire marshal as to the cause and the point of origin of the fire. So in the meantime, we're reserving any judgment at all, and I would hope that others would.
I can't tell for sure, but we thought it was worth a try because we think it's an important thing to get done.
Is it an attempt at coercion? Are you trying to prod the governor a little bit, perhaps?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sending similar telegrams to the other candidates?
No, just to these two. We are having a joint appearance of Benson and Bush at a luncheon, which is a similar affair, and we hope to do the same with the candidates for governor.
When we say that this man has no proof that we intend to do some bombings, we don't intend to bomb anything. We say that he can't prove it. We defy him to prove it. We're going to meet him in court with $1 million lawsuit for libel, slander, and everything else. We're going to file in the name of the National Committee to Combat Fascism, the Organizing Bureau of the Black Panther Party, and we all will be plaintiffs.
No, I do not, any more than you could say that Boston runs the medicine of the nation, or that New York dominates the publishing industry. You can use that word if you want to, but having watched television in Little Rock and Chicago and Seattle and Palm Springs, California, I just don't have the feeling that anybody in New York is telling me what to think. I think it's a rather mythical criticism.
Have laid them off, come back, they're going to get the young college graduate at a lesser salary.
You know, I think we've all had a run-in with a vending machine at one time or another, yourself included. Who loses the most? The company from thieves or customers from vending machines?
I think that vending machines lose more from thieves in one way, but in a simple machine like we have, that is reduced to a minimum.
I imagine everybody. I'm kind of low because we got our two of our best players hurt, and as far as the running game goes, but I think we're going to have to regroup and just come back this week. I think we'll be ready.
Well, you have a lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors, and a tremendous amount of spirit. I remember when we visited during the Southwest Conference Tour, and one ball game, one loss doesn't make a season or ruin a season. You know that.
No, it hurts, but. We're going to come back. We came back last year after getting beat bad by Ohio State, and we came back again against Texas the next final week after them. So I think we'll come back.
How did the Arkansas defense impress you?
They were a lot better than I gave them credit for. After looking at films on them, I thought we could move the ball pretty well on them, running as far as passing too. But I guess they just got up for this game and being the conference opener and a lot more than we did, and they really hit pretty hard, put the pressure on.
We hope through this massive campaign to reach over 200,000 children between the ages of 1 and 10 years of age in order to prevent a rubella epidemic in our county.
Are these immunizations lifetime or temporary?
The vaccine has been in use for over 5 years, and so far the children who have been vaccinated have had good continued immunity, and their antibody levels have been just like the natural disease. So we feel that this will be a lifetime immunity.
Well, the National Foundation is delighted to cooperate in the overall campaign. Naturally, the March of Dimes' basic objective is to eliminate birth defects. And this is a very serious problem, and we're hoping that we'll reach the 225,000 individuals for the drive coming up.
That plan is to get the people out of the low-lying areas, get the people off of the streets, get the people into the buildings. We worked hard, we worked diligently, but our works wouldn't have been worth anything if the people hadn't responded to the teaching that we had for them. We have emergency passes, we kept the people off of the street. We have a message center that we set up. We put our disaster plan into effect. We had distributed hurricane literature, what to do and how to do. And I think the thing that we learned about this hurricane, that people are good. People are so good and so kind if you'll just let them be good.
Oh, it isn't just something sudden. It took, there's been a more or less of an evolutionary development in what you do in the protection and the survivability of the nation. So after 1960, the Cuban Missile Crisis, there was new emphasis as far as our organization was concerned in what to do. They were found many deficiencies. And so there was this is a kind of a new environmental thing for us to cope with, and much to learn that was new. And so it's been an evolutionary thing, and this is of recent data. They came into the fallout shelter first as just buildings, and then further study revealed, well, how about the use of them? And so this becomes the final product off the assembly line as to how people can use them by assignment. And so it's nothing that's come of the moment, let's say. It's just one of these evolutionary things that developed.